Coming up right now, Elon Musk gets the green light to begin human brain implant trials.
Also coming up, we're going to tell you how finding a message in a bottle can score you a stay at one historic landmark.
And a little bit later, Britney Spears is making profit from her past as she gears up for her tell-all memoir.
Ooh, Daily Flash starts right now.
Get ready for trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. The fun starts right now. This is Daily Flash.
Hi, everyone. I'm Andrea Jackson.
And I am Mitch English, welcoming you to Daily Flash. We've got a great show all lined up, set up for. We're going to talk about thumb sucking. We're going to talk about people pleasing, and maybe if the two work together. We don't know.
We don't know. What a combo.
What a combo, right?
Have you ever...
Have I ever? Yes.
Said you liked a food somebody prepared for you, even though you didn't?
Oh, Lord mighty, yes. And going over to friends' house, like parents or whatever.
Yeah.
I know when I was a missionary, I would go to people's house all the time. Oh, this is delicious. I had beans on toast one time.
Ooh.
It's an English thing, and I'm like, this is the most disgusting.
Did you have a sliced tomato with it too?
You know what? Yeah, I did actually.
Bangers and mash. Yeah.
And I had water, and I would eat I hate pork and beans or beans.
Texture, yeah.
And I would eat them like pills. I would, and I would swallow them like they're so gross. But anyway, go ahead.
New study is out saying 7 in 10 people will say that they like something when a meal is prepared for them, even though they either can't stand it or don't eat it. And they talk about the language of love, and food is a language of love for so many people. And the way so many people, which you know because you love to cook,
I love cooking,
is a way to show somebody your affection or your love or your appreciation.
So you do that, and then you marry a nutritionist who eats so healthy. I can't show you my love, you know.
It sits there and stares at you, making you eat your broccoli in front of
yes,
you.
And I can eat broccoli now, which is I feel like I'm progressing. I'm growing up, but yeah. She puts a lot of love in hers because you have to. It's hard to eat healthy. It takes a little bit longer.
Do you have food guilt though around Liza if you want to eat something?
Oh, 100%. Yes. Yeah. And and I also grew up with like dessert, and her was like, well, we got some corn, we can eat because it's sweet.
Corn for
her
dessert?
concept is different than mine. And like she's smart, she's healthy, she's beautiful, and in shape,
gorgeous.
But corn is not dessert for me. That was one of our because it's sweet. So her mind says, "Oh, dessert. You want something sweet?" And I'm like, "Well, corn ain't the
candy corn,
which is holiday. But that's about it. Maybe I need something in my brain to make me think different." And Elon Musk could possibly help me with his Neuralink, as it's now getting a green light to begin human brain implant trials for a different reason, of course. The company just cleared a major hurdle in its mission to merge man and machine. Neuralink received the go-ahead from an independent review board for the recruitment of human test trials of its revolutionary brain implant. Is all designed to assist individuals that are living with paralysis. The company is actively seeking participants about 22 or a little bit older who are paralyzed from the neck down following spinal cord injuries, who might be wheelchair bound, all because of ALS as well. And either he's going to do it or somebody's going to do it. Yeah. And I think that's where he is at. I think regulation is probably the biggest of this, but we've seen a lot of, especially with brain injury victims, how much we don't know about the brain still. And putting an implant in there, if it's helping, it gives them a little better way of life, then why not?
I wonder too, when I first heard about this story, if it would benefit Parkinson's disease.
Oh, that makes
anybody
sense.
with Parkinson's. But when you look at the overall scope of like stem cell research and cloning and DNA and genetic testing and that kind of thing, you have to wonder, like, have all of those things really been taken to, the ultimate degree in a lab somewhere? But we just don't know about it yet, and they're slowly rolling out these beginner stages.
I'm the same way when it comes to like computer software. What is out now? What is not available? And I think you're right on that. And like, are those people controlled by, maybe we have somebody that is completely normal because of it. We just don't know about it.
There's a lab somewhere underneath a rock.
100%, yes.
Well, the caretakers of a historic Michigan lighthouse are offering free stays at the legendary landmark thanks to a brand new contest. Check this out. The group just announced a message in a bottle contest as part of their 113th anniversary celebration. So here's how it will work. They're releasing bottles each with a message inside. Some messages will feature words from one of the 4 descendants of longtime lightkeeper George Keller. Some will also include an offer to stay in the lighthouse. The message in a bottle contest pays tribute to
the blizzard of 1940.
When Keller and a friend put a message inside of a bottle in case they didn't survive the storm. The men did survive, however, and their message was found floating a few weeks later off the coast of Michigan.
Yeah, you know, they probably said some really nice things in there. Now they have to live up to it. Those things that are found in there. And you can see why that would make legend after that.
Of course.
We were just making fun. We threw some bottles out there. Why not?
Linda, I don't really love you.
Linda, all those things that were said under duress.
Brittany's Jack Daniels bottles.
Well, yours would be Jack Daniels for sure. Britney Spears, she has messages in bottles, but she seems like she's going to be making profit from the re-release of her 2002 film, the epic Crossroads.
No!
Remember this movie? The 41-year-old pop icon will receive money from the back end, which is when the contributor of a project gets a percentage of the work overall profit from ticket sales. The rom-com will be re-released on October 23rd and 25th. That's all in conjunction with the release of Britney's tell-all memoir the next month. Spears landed the lead role in the movie, Crossroads, playing Lucy, a young woman on a journey of self-discovery. She is joined on screen by Zoe Saldana and Tyron Manning, who played her childhood friends. No word on how Spears actually feels about the movie's return to theaters. However, we have heard that she is pretty excited about the release of her memoir, so maybe we'll learn something on her side of the stories of things, at least. And I don't remember this being a very successful film, unless outside of Britney's fans.
Wasn't Justin the guy from American Idol who lost to Kelly Clarkson in that movie?
No, I know which one you're talking about. To Justin from Kelly was what you're thinking of.
Oh, is that what I'm thinking of? Okay.
I think so,
I don't know why I thought he was in this
because those
one.
two made,
Yes.
I think it was right around the same time.
Yeah,
I think
believe
you're right.
so. Yeah, maybe that's why. My movies are cross-roading.
She was dating a different Justin at the time. That's probably what you're
Kim Cattrall in that movie. I didn't even realize Kim
really?
Cattrall. Yeah.
I
don't know if
she's
she
also in Porky's, too, by the way.
Yes, she is. Oh, my goodness. Well, the first ever TV painting by Bob Ross is hitting the auction block for $9.8 million. Ross, who died in 1995 at the age of 52, was best known for his public TV program called The Joy of Painting. He created a walk in the woods in 1983 during the very first episode of his show. The oil-painted canvas features trees and rocks by a river and was done in less than 30 minutes. You're actually watching clips from a movie. In April 2023, the movie Paint was released, which was loosely inspired by the life of Ross. Actor Owen Wilson portrayed the lead character with an appearance very similar to Bob's signature curly hair and beard. Wilson told reporters he even took painting classes with Bob Ross instructors and consulted with some of Bob's family for the role. And oddly enough, Bob Ross is buried right here in Central Florida.
There's also a documentary on Netflix about it. By the way, anytime you buy anything with Bob Ross, his family gets none of that money.
He got railroaded.
His whole family got screwed out of all that money. And it's an interesting story, too, about, I still don't know about that relationship that he had with that woman.
A cautionary tale, if you will.
And it kind of makes you think, he's just like, I just want to paint. I just want to paint. And so it's interesting story to hear about that. All right, Idaho man actually broke his own Guinness World Record by catching 39 grapes in his mouth in just 1 minute while jogging. His name's David Rush, and he has broken more than 250 world records, wanting to break the original one that he had set with 35 grapes. Well, the duo managed a total of 39 grapes, officially breaking their record for the most grapes thrown and caught in the mouth while juggling in just 1 minute. Not an easy task, as we have seen. Every time you think about this, about how they get things done, it's amazing that they can actually just actually get it done. So we thought we'd actually give it a try here. And Jackson is giving me, these are great grapes.
Oh my
Yvonne, I
God.
don't know where you got these. Did you pick these out of your garden or something? These are really, really good. So we have Matt, you got it. To Matt with the mouth. And Matt, any kind of...
Let's give this a shot.
Do we want to go for hang time?
Let's go up. Give me a chance to catch.
We got 1 minute left in this segment here. So we're going to go. We'll start on, you want to count me down, Jackson, on 5?
4, 3, 2, 1.
There's 1.
Oh, 1.
Oh, almost.
Oh, almost.
All right, almost.
Three, two. Up.
I'm going high on this one. Ah! There we go, Matt. Matt. Oh, that was my fault. All right. Five. Okay, my fault again. There we go. I'm going too high. I'm gonna look at the one thing, and I'm not gonna look at you. And I bet you we can do better. That's what's happening. That's what's happening.
Oh.
Is if I don't look at Matt, I can do this. How much time we got?
Oh my God.
You got 30 seconds.
30.
10. There's 10. 11.
10, 11, 12, 13. Oh, that's my fault. 14.
No.
I think if I can connect with Matt, he gets it.
14?
Matt.
15? 16?
Oh my God, Matt is awesome. Oh my God. Go, Matt. Oh my God. Matt. One more. Yes.
19!
19. Welcome back to Daily Flash, Mitch English, along with Andrea Jackson. As we jump into parenthood, if you're a parent of a very young child, you'll definitely want to be listening to this. Thumb sucking is a very common habit among infants and toddlers, but do we really know the lasting effects of the behavior? Joining us now is speech pathologist Toni-Ann Antoniato. She's joining us now. Toni-Ann, welcome to the show. I've always seen kids doing it. It's kind of cute. But actually, it seems, though, this little harmless childhood behavior can actually change the structure of a child's face. And when I heard this, I was amazed because I knew it had something to do with the teeth, but the face altogether, explain that.
Sure, absolutely. Well, first, thank you so much for having me today. I'm excited to be here.
Thank you.
And yes, a sucking habit like thumb sucking is something that can be very common and very appropriate up until a certain age. We all are born with a sucking reflex, and that's an important reflex for us for feeding. However, that reflex subsides by 6 months of age. So any sucking that happens past that point can do some changes to the face. When you're sucking your thumb, it puts pressure on the structures here. So your lower jaw, your upper jaw, your teeth, your lips, the roof of your mouth, which is also the floor of your nose. Those structures can all change from thumb sucking.
I'm sure you can't address all of this, but is thumb sucking a habit or is it an insecurity?
So thumb sucking, a lot of the times, like I said, is that reflex, but past that reflex, there can be an underlying reason for why that child is continuing to suck their thumb. So sometimes that's because their tongue's not resting correctly in their mouth.
Okay.
Sometimes it can have to do with the airway being restricted and having difficulties breathing correctly. So there can definitely be an underlying reason.
Oh, okay.
Why?
Okay, so and whereas I guess where I was leading to is a lot of people, at least I grew up always thinking it was like an insecurity thing, and that they just are used to it. And sometimes when you see on TV people making fun, they'll be sucking their thumb. So we think of that, but it might be just those actual physical issues that you just spoke of. We hear a lot about an overbite. Is that a case? I mean, is that something true that can come out of sucking thumbs?
Absolutely. An overbite is something that we call a malocclusion. There's different types of malocclusion. There's the overbite, there's an underbite, there's an open bite, a cross bite. Those are all types of malocclusions that can happen from a prolonged sucking habit like thumb sucking.
Okay, we're talking about the thumb, but you see this picture right here? My little brother would do this right here, what we're seeing on the screen. Is there a difference between that? Could that be like, that might be a problem with the roof of the mouth or the tongue, or is it just, again, goes back to the same thing?
All the same thing, it's
Okay.
that sucking. So a lot of the times what happens is when our tongue is supposed to rest up in the roof of our mouth, it is helping us to stimulate what's called our parasympathetic system. And that is what controls that soothing mechanism that our body goes
Okay.
through. So if our tongue's not up there, we'll oftentimes find something else like our thumb or our fingers to put up there instead to get that nice, soothing, calming sensation.
That is interesting, something I never actually thought about. But you're a speech pathologist, so obviously, does this affect speech? And if it does, explain.
Yeah. Absolutely. So those muscles that are getting impacted and those structures, they're the same structures and muscles that we use for speaking. So a lot of the times those muscles become weaker, the tongue's not functioning correctly, and then it carries over into difficulties producing certain speech sounds, difficulties like mouth breathing that can also further impact our speech development.
Okay, now how do we stop this? I think I don't know if I'm going to get in trouble, but we used to put stuff like pepper or something on my little brother's finger so he'd stop doing it. Was that the wrong thing to do?
So probably.
Okay.
What we want to do is depending on the child's age. So if, we said they should stop by 6 months. So if they're 7 months, 8 months, 9 months, we want to substitute something for them to still explore their oral cavity, which is what they're trying to do. So
Okay.
there's a ton of oral motor tools and different sensory teethers that we can give a baby that will allow them to stimulate their oral cavity in a more productive way.
And
If
I would imagine germs too is an issue with that too, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely, especially once they get to the school age because they're at school all day and then a lot of the times they get germs on them and then they're sucking. But if they are that school age, you really want to consider an evaluation with a speech language pathologist.
Folks want to find out more information. This is great. The website's called thespotpal.com. You can go there and get all that information. Toni-Ann, thank you so much for joining us for this. The stuff I learned something just now, and I feel bad about putting pepper on my little brother's fingers. Thank you so much. More information is going to be found on our website, dailyflashshow.com.
Thank you.
Thank you. Wondering how to get rid of the unwanted fat that you just can't seem to shed despite diet and exercise? Well, Dr. Patrick Basil gives us the scoop on Cool Sculpting Elite, a non-invasive treatment with real results that eliminates body fat in 9 FDA-cleared areas to help achieve your desired body contouring goals.
Hi, thanks for having us. Today I'm teaming up with Allergan Aesthetics to go over one of the most popular procedures in our practice, Cool Sculpting Elite. I'm joined by Remus here, who is one of my Cool Sculpting Elite patients. Cool Sculpting Elite is the only FDA-cleared, cold-based, non-surgical treatment that uses a process called cryolipolysis to permanently remove fat from 9 FDA-cleared areas of the body. A typical session can last anywhere from 35 minutes to several hours, depending on the number of areas we are going to treat. We also have dual applicators and can treat multiple areas of the body at once. Typically, we can expect to see the results at about 1 to 3 months after your last treatment. A common question we get is, who is a good candidate for Cool Sculpting Elite? And the answer is anybody that has stubborn areas of fat that are non-responsive to diet and exercise. Remus was an excellent candidate for Cool Sculpting Elite because he maintains a very healthy lifestyle, is active, but just had those stubborn areas of fat in his flank and abdominal area that wouldn't go away. A common question we get is how many sessions someone's going to need with Cool Sculpting Elite. Usually I tell my patients to expect about 2 sessions, separated about 6 to 8 weeks apart. But it really depends on how many areas we're going to treat, and you should really work with your licensed healthcare professional to come up with a tailored plan for you. If someone's interested in Cool Sculpting Elite, I recommend going on coolsculpting.com and reading the full safety information. You can also click on that QR code and use the Find the Provider tool to find someone near you who has been fully trained and can help you getting started on this journey.
Welcome back to Daily Flash. Looking for a car loan? It might be harder than ever. Lauren Fix, the car coach, tells us why in today's Car Smarts.
If you want to save money on your next car purchase, you will need to do more than strike a good deal with a salesperson on the sticker price. A mistake when taking out a car loan could cost you money and erase the savings you negotiated on the purchase price. Unfortunately, it's not all that uncommon, especially among borrowers with high credit scores. An investigation from Consumer Reports revealed that 3% of prime and super prime borrowers received auto loans with APRs of 10% or more, which is more than double the average rate for their credit scores. Not shopping around for the best deal on auto financing is just one mistake you want to avoid. And here are some of the others to avoid if you want to land the best possible deal. Before visiting the dealership, shop around and get a few quotes from banks and credit unions, and doing so will give you an idea of the interest rates available for your credit score and ensure that you get the best deal. Keep in mind, those bank requirements may be stricter than credit unions, but they offer better rates that you won't find at a dealership. If it's your first time purchasing a vehicle, look for financing programs for first-time buyers at credit unions and at the dealership. Although the monthly payment of your car loan is important, you should know in advance how much you can afford each month. Knowing your credit score ahead of time will put you in the driver's seat in terms of negotiation. Whether you use Credit Karma or check with your bank, you need to know that number. And with it, you'll know what the rate is and what you can expect. And if the dealer is trying to overcharge you or lie about what you can qualify for, you'll know the facts. People with excellent credit qualified for rates around 3.84%, while people with bad credit had an average new car rate of 12.93% interest. Car loan terms range from 24 to 84 months, which is not acceptable. Don't go beyond 5 years. And longer terms may offer tempting lower numbers in payments, but the longer you spend repaying your loan, the more interest you're going to pay, and that only helps the bank. Use a car finance calculator to understand your monthly payment and decide which option is best for you in advance. A short-term loan will cost you less in interest overall, but you'll have higher monthly payments. A long-term loan will have lower monthly payments, but higher interest rates over time, and that will cost you more money. Question every fee you don't understand to avoid unnecessary additions to your purchase price. And if there is an add-on you truly want, pay for it out of pocket. Better yet, check if it's available outside the dealership for less. Buying from a third party is often cheaper for aftermarket products, extended warranties, and gap insurance. The key to success when taking out a car loan is preparedness. This means negotiating the monthly payment, knowing your credit score, choosing the right term length, being aware of add-on costs, and avoiding rollover negative equity. Keep potential mistakes in mind while you negotiate, and with luck, you will walk away with saving money and saving time. I'm Lauren Fix, and you can find this information on my website, carcoachreports.com and dailyflashshow.com.
Alrighty, welcome to Furry Friends this week. And if you're a pet owner like me, we've all had stories about our pets getting into interesting positions or falling off a third floor balcony, like my cat. I mean, Mitch, you have two new kittens.
I'm learning. I'm waiting for the day.
They're running all over the place. But there is actually an award for the crazy things our pets get into. So every year, the Hambone Awards are sent out by Nationwide Assurance about the worst animal insurance claims for the year.
All right.
The finalists for this year's awards are a golden doodle from New Hampshire who got her paw stuck in a snow-covered storm drain, Bernie, a mixed breed dog from California who was run over by an ATV on a run on Christmas Eve,
Not good.
and Miko, a cat from New Orleans who took a 7-foot leap into the air from his catio after a pair of doves were standing too close to his comfort zone and was apparently attacked by the doves. His owner came up and found him just tears of blood coming out because he'd been attacked. So, what's your worst pet moment so far?
So far, he's always up on the counter, and I'm so afraid they're going to jump and get on the stovetop, and I'm afraid they're going to do it. But so far, it hasn't happened. But I never knew that you can actually get insurance for your pets.
We did after Kiki, which you guys have seen on the show a few times. He's a little general cat, but he fell off third-story balcony right around Christmas time last year, and I had to run him to the vet. And $800 later, after a full scan of him,
CAT scan.
CAT scan, he was fine, but it's still, after that, we're like, we'll pay the $17 a month because, this stuff happens. Yeah, it's like $17 a month and it covers everything.
I want to know, and I think everybody else wants to know, did Kiki land on all fours like all cats are supposed to?
No, he landed on his face.
That's why I had to take his head.
He chipped a tooth and blood and everything. It was a whole thing.
And there's no side effects from it?
Nah, he's been fine since. We had to watch him for a couple days. Both vets, the emergency one and his normal one, checked him out. But it's just one of those things that scares you, and you're like, I don't want to kill this thing that I'm responsible for or let it die in my presence.
I say that about all my kids. And things like that. But it does go to the whole adage, or the cats have 9 lives.
Yeah, he's down to 7.
Now he's down to 7 so far as well. We'd love to hear from you at home. You ever have a really bad event from your pet? Why don't you drop us an email? It's flash@dailyflashshow.com. Thank you, Matt. We got more Daily Flash coming up right after this.
This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. Trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash.
Hello, everybody. Hi, I'm Mitch English.
I'm Andrea Jackson. This is Daily Flash, your source for trending news and entertainment.
All right. There's candies out there that, everybody has their favorite candy. I'm peanut M&Ms. You have a favorite?
Reese's.
Yeah, okay.
But the holiday Reese's that are like the eggs or the Christmas trees or the ghosts, the
they
bigger
make them
ones.
different, I think so.
Because they have more peanut butter in them.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yes.
All right. I think it's between those and those. Matt, you got a favorite?
Snickers.
Snickers. Everybody loves the Snickers.
Always a good call.
Sour Patch Kids. Anybody eat the Sour Patch Kids?
Oh, yeah.
of them.
They're too tangy for me.
Okay, now, but I want everybody to get some, especially for the ladies and for those that have panic attacks, because they're saying that Sour Patch Kids are actually really good for situations as such, because when you have a panic attack, it basically has those, it gives you those intense sensory that experience, you know, like how your jaws hurt when it's something really sour.
So you focus more on the sour,
And really what it does is it takes you out of that moment of where you're heading when you have a panic attack. And it's supposed to, it helps out in that way. But for the ladies, and I guess maybe some guys too, if you have cramps, apparently sour foods actually trigger receptors in your body that help you with cramps. Maybe if you're going swimming or something for the guys, if you have those types. So keep you a pack of Sour Patch Kids around with you all the time. And they're supposed to help you out. Yeah, I don't really think they'll change the whole world, but at least they'll help you.
But you can at least give it a try.
Yeah.
I've also heard that if you do a hot bath for your feet, if you're suffering from a migraine, it's supposed to take your migraine right away.
Do you remember that thing they have you?
I can never remember that.
It would hurt so freaking bad.
Right.
Yeah, I would have somebody else do it, and I'm like, it's going away because it's hurting like crap. You're hurting my hand.
Because you're focused on the hurt.
Yeah, I think that's what.
Is that what it is?
Maybe, I don't know. That's how it's working to me.
I always forget about
maybe
that.
Maybe a Sour Patch Kid would do well.
Oh, I like that. Okay. Well, Elon Musk's Neuralink gets the green light to begin human brain implant trials. The company just cleared a major hurdle in its mission to merge man and machine. Neuralink received the go-ahead from an independent review board for the recruitment of human test subjects for trials of its revolutionary brain implant designed to assist individuals living with paralysis. The company's actively seeking participants aged 22 or older who are paralyzed from the neck down following spinal cord injuries or who are wheelchair bound because of ALS. This could bring a whole new life to people who are paralyzed from the neck down.
You know, it's because basically their part of that brain has shut down, and this is supposed to actually help control it or be able to get it to function in a manner. They might not feel it, but they'll be able to use it as well. We just saw the movie The Creator with John David Washington.
Yeah, how was it?
It was an amazing, amazing film. But they start off kind of like they show you stories like this, you know, like, oh, this is going to help everybody, and it really at the very beginning, it eventually goes into how it just goes.
We're going down a dark path.
So I like this, and there's obviously good that's going to come out of this, but it has to be regulated so much, because imagine having something. I know it's supposed to be to help people that have paralysis, but imagine having something in your brain that we don't know if it can be hacked or something like that. That's what freaks me out.
Well, and you think about like stem cell research and everything they're doing with genetics and DNA and cloning and obviously these implants. They're just talking about it on the surface now, but something tells me they are so far ahead of everybody when it comes to this kind of stuff, and they're just sort of slowly bottle feeding it to us.
And Matt and I, we've had this saying that we've said for so many years, as far as implants go, they're real if I can feel them, right?
Right. So, yeah, we need to be able to check them out.
If you can feel that,
if you can feel them,
then they're real.
Then they're real. Then they're real implants.
Complete sense. What time do you want to go to the HR? 10 or 11 o'clock?
Let's get it over with.
All right, we'll do it early.
Right after this.
I'll move on. Caretakers of an historic Michigan lighthouse are offering free stays at the legendary landmark, all thanks to a new contest. The group just announced a Message in a Bottle contest as part of their 113th anniversary celebration. Here's how it's going to work. They're releasing bottles, each with a message inside. Some messages will feature words from one of the 4 descendants of longtime lightkeeper George Keller. Some will also include an offer to stay at the lighthouse. The Message in the Bottle contest, it all pays tribute to the blizzard of 1940. Oh, it was the worst one out there. Keller and a friend had put a message inside of a bottle in case they didn't survive the storm. The men did survive, and their message was found floating a few weeks later off the coast of Michigan.
One of my least favorite songs, Time in a Bottle.
If I can spend time in a bottle. 3 minutes is all we're asking. We'll be back right after.
It's time to live it up, love, and shop. Sweat. Well, we all do it, and some of us have an easier time than others. However, that has not stopped one woman who is on a hygiene crusade. She's got nearly 3 million views for her advice on your underarms. So what's got everyone's attention? Madam Sweat says you're not washing them the right way.
If you're washing your underarms like this with some Tutti Frutti soap, I can guarantee you still have yesterday's deodorant on your underarms. I'm here in the shower with Joey, and he's lathering for 30 seconds. He's doing it right. Plus, he's using an antibacterial soap. If you have underarm hair, you really got to get in there to get rid of yesterday's deodorant. A good antibacterial soap has apple cider vinegar, salt, and charcoal.
So there you have it. If you've been washing your underarms wrong all along, she's got some good advice for you. Have you heard about skip lagging? Well, skip lagging has been a hot button issue in the travel industry. According to the Points Guide, the phrase refers to the way some travelers try and save on airfare by booking a connection point that they use as their final destination and then abandon the final leg of their trip. Experts say although the practice is legal, it is frowned upon by the industry. Risks include an unexpected bill from the airline, forfeiting your frequent flyer miles, and even a lifetime ban from the airline. Well, speaking of airports, Meg Ryan returns to the big screen as the director and star of a new romantic comedy with David Duchovny. Here's a peek at her new movie, What Happens Later.
I'm looking for my connection. We were rerouted through wherever it is we are.
Hello, Wilhelmina.
Hello, William.
How have you been?
Oh, for the last 20 years?
25, maybe.
I've been 49 forever and ever and ever.
Wow, lucky you. I feel like I've been in my 50s since my 20s.
That's so true.
You don't have to agree with me.
Attention, Boston and Austin passengers. Those flights have been delayed until further notice.
Just those two flights?
Just us.
Yes.
That's unbelievable.
They're saying this could be bad. The storm of the century?
What are you worried about?
Everything. I was diagnosed with anticipatory anxiety.
Is that a real thing?
Oh, yeah. Right now, I'm worried that we're lost.
Look around.
We are looking around.
Look around.
I'm looking around.
Relax. You're already living out your worst case scenario.
What, being stuck here with you?
Yeah.
You make a good point.
What are you looking for in there?
Photos of the kids, the family. I know how badly you wanted that.
It just wasn't in the cards. Was that your daughter?
Yeah.
It really wasn't what you said, that we wanted different things. You left, you let go.
This behavior, this is exactly why we broke up.
So basically, my personality.
Okay, yes.
This is not at all how I imagine our reunion.
Oh, you imagine this?
When people break up, there's the thing that they tell each other, and then there's the truth that you never told me.
I was in love with you, and I couldn't turn that on and off like a switch.
I know.
Nighttime slows, raindrops splash rainbows.
Have you ever wondered what if?
Perhaps someone you know.
This facility will power down to essential functions only.
Come on!
Is that a thing?
Oh, it's a thing.
Lying smiling in the dark, shooting stars around your heart.
Are you happy? It's not the one question we should really be asking each other.
Now you're crying in your sleep.
I have a good life, but I never again met anybody that made me feel the way you do.
Pure and simple. If love's the truth, then look no lies. Let me swim around your eyes. I found a place I'll never leave. Shut my mouth.
If we could see our memories in advance, would we do anything different?
Please don't ruin this.
Pure and simple, just for you.
So it looks like it's a good movie, and it's a good moment for Meg Ryan, who takes up the director role behind the camera as well as the starring role in front of the camera. Well, you can always check out what's happening on Life Love Shopping. Just head to our website, lifeloveshopingshow.com. Follow us on the socials as well. You'll find us on Instagram as well as Facebook. We love to hear from you, so stay tuned to Life Love Shopping. Stay with us, more coming up when we return.
Life Love Shopping is a weekly 30-minute lifestyle show hosted by Andrea Jackson. It's focused on the latest trends for your health, home, and happiness. Life Love Shopping offers viewers ways to improve their life and style, wellness, and relationships. If you live it, love it, or buy it, Life Love Shopping will talk about it.
We start today's show with the happiest jobs in America. A recent study found physical therapists take the top spot when it comes to job satisfaction.
Life Love Shopping, your life and style guide from A to Z.
Welcome back to Daily Flash. Are you a people pleaser? Well, it sounds like a good thing, but there could actually be a downside to this. Joining us now is Florence Ann Romano with some insight. Florence Ann, welcome back to the show.
I love being here. Thank you for having me.
So tell us how people pleasing can have a negative impact on our self-esteem and personal growth.
coming from a recovering people pleaser, I think you could say I have a hard time with this too. I think everybody does. And, people pleasing, like you said, it sounds like it's a good thing, but unfortunately, it sometimes creates a lack of boundaries for yourself. It can affect your self-esteem. It can affect your authenticity, your self-worth. And also, sometimes it creates a facade for you. You start to act a certain way with certain people because you want to fit in, or you want them to like you, or you want to match their energy, or think what they're doing is cool and you want to be cool like them. These are kind of like almost grammar school lessons that you want to fit in with a certain crowd. We kind of do that as we get older in a lot of ways, even as adults. And so this people pleasing concept, it can get us in a lot of trouble and can let us feel really depleted and also kind of bad about ourselves as well.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. Sometimes we walk into a room and we're more reactive than we are proactive. Right. And I just heard a really great saying, don't set yourself on fire to keep other people warm. And I thought, that is so true.
It's so true. And we want to be accommodating. We want to be compassionate people, right? And so it makes sense that you want to put others' feelings first. And there's nothing wrong with living a life in service of others and being kind and showing up for people. But there's a fine line that we have to walk. And you want to remember, too, what are your values as a person? You want to align those with the people you're surrounding yourself with. So if you're starting to fit yourself into a box so you can fit in with someone else, I don't know if that's the right relationship for you. Friendship, romantic, whatever it is, you need to think about, are you showing up for yourself in the most authentic way?
Yeah, and I think personal boundaries are really important here. It's something we throw around and we hear all the time, but explain that for us.
Boundaries. I always say it's like a dirty word. People are like, don't say boundaries to me, because people automatically get really defensive about it. They're like, what am I doing wrong? And don't critique me. And boundaries are really there, not just to protect yourself, but to protect other people too. It's making sure that there is that respect, that you're listening in terms of what someone needs, someone wants, what you need, what you want. Boundaries are there to really keep you safe and to keep other people safe. So don't be afraid to explore what boundaries mean to you. And maybe a boundary, for example, is it could be in your family where, your mother-in-law shows up unannounced all the time and you're like, hey, this isn't working for me. And you have to have a conversation about respecting those boundaries, but saying it in a way that's going to land correctly, that's going to make sure that there's a result for you, that is going to work for both parties, that there's going to be a compromise. You can stand up for yourself, but you don't have to be mean about it. Say what you mean, but don't say it mean. I think that's a really good lesson.
That's good, but we live in this age where everybody's feelings seem to get hurt so easily. You say open and honest communication is key. Explain.
Open and honest communication, again, I think gets a bad rap because we feel, again, that, we have to stand up for ourselves and we need to, light the world on fire with it. And I think there's a time and a place for that energy that you're bringing to the table. So remember, what is the intention you have and how are you going to get there? Think about that before you start speaking,
Florence,
because that's going to hopefully get you there.
Thank you so much. To get a copy of Florence Ann's book, Build Your Village, please visit florenceann.com. Florence Ann, always great to chat with you. Terrific advice.
So wonderful to be with you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Well, fall is a great time for a great getaway. Maybe you're trying to keep summer alive with a beach holiday or just looking for a new and unique destination. Award-winning travel writer and editor Laura Begley-Bloom. She joins us with some great ideas.
Thanks for having me. Everyone knows Priceline can save you a ton of money. Well, now they're using new technology, including generative AI, to make travel planning easier than ever. Trip Intelligence is a set of new tools that helps you research and personalize your plans, making even the most complex trips simple. If you're booking a trip with the kids, you can use the family-friendly tools. It will help you filter hotels with the best kid-friendly amenities and even select rental cars based on luggage capacity and car seat availability. Priceline has introduced their new checkout chatbot called Penny. It can answer any last-minute questions you may have, and you can even book your travel in the chat. I love Mississippi. After all, it's the hospitality state. Fall is the perfect time to discover Mississippi's charming small towns and quirky museums. From Elvis's humble home in Tupelo, to the picturesque town square in Oxford, to the historic downtown in Vicksburg, or the stately homes of Natchez. Mississippi's mild fall temperatures and late season foliage are ideal for nature lovers. Cyclists can cruise through crisp fall air on the Tanglefoot Trail in northern Mississippi or the Longleaf Trace in Hattiesburg. Mississippi is also a foodie paradise. Check out Greenville's Delta Hot Tamale Festival in October and local favorites like slug burgers and catfish. Finally, if you were looking for a beach getaway, the Miami Beach Visitor and Convention Authority has launched the new Experience Miami Beach Tours app to help travelers plan their visit. The app provides curated tours, allowing travelers to discover new, hidden, and iconic locations across Miami Beach. It has dedicated itineraries, including a cultural institutions tour, a public art tour, an Art Deco tour, and more. The app is available for download on Apple and Google Play. You want to search EXP Miami Beach Tours. For more info, go to Priceline.com and download the app. Visit Mississippi.org. Experience Miami Beach on Instagram. And you can follow me on Twitter at Laura Begley.
I'm ready to travel. Thank you there, Laura. We'll have more Daily Flash and more fun coming up right after this.
Welcome back to Daily Flash. I'm Andrea Jackson with Matt Doolittle and Mitch English. Well, worthless siblings build a pharmaceuticals empire of wealth, privilege, and power, but past secrets come to light when the heirs to the Usher dynasty start dying at the hands of a mysterious woman from their younger days. This is the must-watch miniseries, The Fall of the House of Usher.
It's time. It's time. It's time.
Your Honor, no matter how much evidence stacked against them, the Usher crime family stands stronger and darker than ever before.
Anyone comes after us, we will exhaust our arsenal until the threat's neutralized.
By neutralized, you mean sued into oblivion on the streets?
Neutralized. Like dead.
You guys, we really should get together more often. It's just a balm.
Roderick Usher, your family is a collection of stunted hearts whose time has come.
Who are you?
Consequence. And tonight is consequential.
I'm gonna head out. I've got an appointment with your dad.
Your brother's dead.
This is tragic, but a few "my heart will go on" tweets will pad it out.
This was no accident. You have been targeted. And this woman knows everything.
It's time, Roderick. What did you do?
I'm afraid you're ringside for my reckoning, old friend.
I don't even own anything Funeral Black. Wait, that's not true. It's just satin.
Satin is silk for poor people, and no one should wear it to a funeral unless they died in it.
Are we safe?
If we don't stop her, you won't have a family left.
Frankly, I think you've forgotten what I am.
Nevermore. Nevermore. Nevermore.
That's cool. Looks neat, I think, right?
It's got Luke Skywalker in it, too.
Yeah, it's got Luke Skywalker. That does it for our show. Y'all take care. We'll see you when we look at you.
Be good, everybody.
Mm-hmm.